Hello, I'm Lelda Smits for the Finance News Network, and joining me from the Allan Australia Equity Fund is Fund Manager Simon Mawhinney. Simon, welcome to FNN.
Thank you for having me.
The fund adopts a contrarian approach to investing. Could you outline how this process works?
It's our view that in order to buy shares which are significantly below their fair value, they need to be unloved. Loved shares tend to be overpriced and have appreciated significantly in price prior to your purchase. And so that's the reason we focus on the unloved sector of the market and do our fundamental research on that sector and then invest with a long-term horizon in mind.
And Simon, could you give us a recent example of how this strategy was delivered?
A recent example will be our investment in the real estate investment trusts, or REITs, during and after the financial crisis, when they became lepers of the investment community and had fallen almost 90% from their peaks. And for long-term investors, they went on to increase fivefold from there. More recently, and though it's not played out yet, perhaps the gold sector is a classic opportunity for us. They too have fallen 80% or more from their peaks, and hopefully in the fullness of time will do substantially better than the rest of the market from here.
Okay, and what is your investment horizon, and what kind of investor is best suited to your approach?
I think it's no different to any investor in the equity markets. You need to take a reasonably long-term horizon. Markets are volatile at times. So any investor who's happy to invest in equity markets is probably suitable to us, but they should all have a 5-year investment horizon in mind.
So how has the fund performed since inception, and more recently, which stocks supported your performance and which detracted?
Since inception, we've outperformed our benchmark by a little more than 2% per annum. Recently, stocks like Alumina Limited and Transfield have been good contributors to our performance, as have some of the media stocks, Fairfax and APN News. And some of the detractors have been Pacific Brands and Southern Cross Media.
So Simon, what are some of your larger positions, and where have you made recent adjustments?
Large positions currently are UGL Limited, Transfield Services. The oil and gas sector has attracted us more recently, and so we've increased our exposure to Woodside and Origin. And equally, the gold sector has been very depressed, and we have started to invest in that in Newcrest Mining.
And finally, Simon, how is the fund weighted towards banks and miners?
We're very underweight the banks at the moment, with roughly 10% of our portfolio invested in the banks. And the miners, we're probably equal weight to the miners, but very differently mixed relative to those miners' weight in our benchmark. And our biggest overweight is everything but those banks and miners, essentially.
Simon Mawhinney, thank you for the introduction to Allan Australia Equity Fund.
Thank you for having me.